Ooh, we're live. Week 2. Yeah, Alex is chugging Gatorade.
Always.
He's getting ready to deliver the goods now.
Except for the fact that I kind of want to cry right now.
Well, I mean, you're still winning.
Yeah, but they don't look good doing it.
Well, a win's a win, and you got 10 days to prepare for the next game, so it's not that bad.
I'm really worried about Marshall.
I mean, yeah, so am I. That's not that wasn't a nice takedown. But you said he came back in the game. I haven't been watching. You said he came back though?
He came back, but I mean, I'm on with you, so I haven't really seen anything else.
Well, you're on with me now. That happened
yeah, but
half hour ago.
They just came back on. We haven't been on offense yet. Well, now we are, but
now you are. Here we go. We'll see. We'll see if he comes back out. All right. But give us a little recap of your week 1. How did your week 1 go?
Awful.
Awful.
You want to know why?
Don't tell me the Tyrod Sammy stack. You went everywhere.
Well, yeah, but that didn't. That wasn't what crushed me. What crushed me? Okay, so I helped Pete in the league, and I botched the fuck out of it, like bad.
Was that the running back league?
Yeah, where it was just kind of one of those things where like it was just an auction, and I must not have been paying attention to what running backs were gone, and then they were gone. Anyway, so we've been trying to find a running back desperately. So he was going to start. He started West this week, and somehow during that conversation Saturday night, he convinced me that Ware wasn't as safe as I knew he was. So I replaced him everywhere with Yeldon.
No, stop. No.
I had 70% exposure to Ware before I made the change, and then I had 10%.
And Pete convinced you off of Ware?
No, he didn't convince me, but we both kind of talked about it, thinking like West is still the most similar to Charles, and maybe they're not trying to change they're trying to keep the same offensive scheme. And I blew it. So I helped you guys still. I didn't tell you guys to make the change, thank God. So because I was all about it.
You just thought way too hard about it. All you had to do was just play your gut.
I'm glad I got the mistake out of the way, to be honest. Won't happen again for me.
What I did was I ended up switching 10% of my Ware exposure to West because I was like, okay, let me just get a little bit of West. And I got a little bit of Yeldon too, but I stayed mostly Ware. It worked out very well.
I also pivoted a lot off of Allen to Martellus Bennett. So I got crushed. I mean, I didn't do awful. I still won a bunch. I had some nice stacks like Breeze, Cook, stuff like that. But
that was money.
I'm talking like a couple $100 up instead of not winning money. So
hey, I'll take it. Any win is a win for me in my book. Yeah, as long as you're not losing all your money.
A lot of our picks did really well.
Yes.
Do you have that list in front of you? Because I just off the top of my head, I know my cautious approach on Dak worked. The Wentz worked out pretty well. Tajay Sharp was phenomenal and looks phenomenal going forward. We got Yeldon.
Don't have the week.
I mean, not as great as he should have been, being the starter. But at 21, he was great.
We had, didn't we talk Chris and Michael?
Yeah, I said it's tournament worthy, not cash, and he didn't really do that great.
Yeah, it turns out horrible.
Sims got a touchdown. That was nice. Powell didn't do shit because Forte went bonkers.
Yeah, dude. That was nutty. Yeah. But Powell did okay for the work.
Powell did great on his touches, but just wasn't.
Yeah. Volume wasn't there. All right. Well, with that, let's dive into this week 2. Again, this is value picks. So we have quarterback.
Oh my God,
no. Defensive touchdown for the Bills, for those who aren't watching.
Jalen Marshall, thank you, the Ohio State.
So we do have price limits on our value picks this year. Last year, we kind of did it week by week and said, okay, this is the threshold for the week. This year, we're looking at 6,000 for quarterback, 4,500 for running back and receiver, 35 for tight end, and 3,000 for defense. So just to reiterate that, we did have it last week. We'll do it again this week, and this week looks like a little bit tougher. I'm not going to lie to you, a little bit tougher in terms of identifying the value. There's a lot there, right? So that's really what I mean by tough. There's so much. Where do we want to go? So let's start with quarterback as we normally do. And at the top here, we've got Marcus Mariota, and the Titans fly into Detroit, right? So they're in the Dome this week, taking on a defense that Andrew Luck just tore up. Anything in particular that you like about Mariota that you're looking for? You kind of see him as a high floor here?
Yeah, high floor, high upside. They should be down quickly. Detroit's offense is a lot better than Minnesota's offense, obviously, because the only way Minnesota scored was defensively, which is kind of interesting and also great. The one concern I would have with him is that their defense is really bad, and he's going to be in some serious negative game script because as great as Luck was, and well, I mean, I guess it kind of helps, but I was comfortable with Luck last week because I knew what he could do against that kind of a defense. I'm not sure what this offense can do still. I'm a little worried about the running game, even though DeMarco had 2 receiving touchdowns, which don't ever expect that to happen again this season because that's not going to happen. But I like what I saw from Sharp. Sharp, stud. Dude's a stud. Like,
oh yeah, we'll get into him later. We won't.
Top value pick of the week, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll get into him later. That was a nice week 1 opening for him.
He has the rushing floor. They're expected to be down in the game, garbage time, and he runs the ball. Detroit's defense isn't nearly as good as Minnesota. It's not awful. It's better than it was last year, but it is not Minnesota. Minnesota's defense is scary, and the only reason I wouldn't recommend playing Minnesota this week is just because they're playing the Packers. But going forward, they are a great option throughout.
So you said something about negative game flow for Mariota. How would this be negative game flow?
They're going to be down. That's what I mean.
That's positive game flow for Mariota.
It's still negative game script is what I meant. Like game script is going to be negative for them, which means that they're throwing. Positive game script means you're ahead.
Sorry. That's a good thing, though.
Yeah, no, negative game script is good for quarterbacks most of the time. It's better for receivers, in my opinion, because negative game script also forces turnovers, and that's bad for quarterbacks. So, because, I mean, think about it this way. They gain 60 yards and then throw an interception. Who's going to benefit? The receiver's getting that yardage and the catches, and then the quarterback is only gaining like 2.5 points on the yardage, but then they
lose it on the pick. Yep. All right, so let's get off of Mariota. Move on to Jimmy Garoppolo, 5,900 on DraftKings.
I don't like it, but we had to talk about him because he wasn't as bad as he was in the preseason. He really wasn't.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not. He's still not like he's not safe. And he doesn't have a high ceiling. So what are we looking at here?
He's not cash, but he has enough weapons in Hogan, in Edelman, in White. A good rushing game apparently with LeGarrette Blount. He put up almost value against an Arizona team where they were ahead for most of the game. Right? Still got 15-9. Did he have 1 touchdown or 2 touchdowns? I don't remember because I hate him.
I thought he only had 1, but I just
he had the one to Hogan early.
Yep.
The opportunity is there. It's a GPP play. Don't touch it in cash. It has potential if you want to value. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's something that you could do if you really wanted to. Like a Garoppolo Hogan stack would be interesting and set you apart. This is more or less where I was going with it.
So let's skip our next guy and just go to the opposite field in that same game, and that's Ryan Tannehill at 5,600. With the way that the defense played against the Cardinals, and I won't say shut them down, but held them in check for most of the game, you really think Tannehill's a play this week?
2 reasons. Palmer still had almost 300 yards, the 2 touchdowns. Solid day. In the last 4 games against the Patriots, I think Tannehill's had 300 yards in 3 of those games, which gives you if he can do that again in negative game script again like Mariota, gets that yardage and chips in a touchdown or 2 somehow, he's a great tournament play all of a sudden, because that's 10 plus. That's already 18 points, just 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. course, there is the downside for turn, but like there's upside there. If the Patriots offense goes bonkers, he's going to have to throw, and they're going
to keep throwing. True.
Try to put up points. So definitely, again, not cash, but
both of them. I see the floor as being so low that I'm not.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying put a ton.
I'm not in love with either one of them. Even for a GPP, I'm not in love with either one of them. Now, I'll go back up to Dak, your boy Dak, 5,800 now.
Stop.
What's your thought? So he came out flat, obviously, last week. Didn't perform like everybody thought he would, especially against that Giants D. But we just saw the Redskins D get ripped up. So do you think Dak has a chance to do? I obviously think Dak has a chance to do better this week, but how much better is the question?
Oh, Ducker. Okay. Anyway, the Redskins defense is atrocious. They cannot stop the run. They cannot stop the pass because they do the wrong thing with Josh Norman, and that is treat him like Richard Sherman and just let him take one side of the field. That's why Antonio Brown scored 2 touchdowns. He scored them both on the opposite side of the field, if you notice, both over Bashaud Breeland.
He had almost the entire game. Almost every single stat was against Breeland. Yeah,
Norman can be taken out of the game completely from a defensive scheme standpoint. Completely taken out of the game.
So let's take a trip back to last year real quick, though, and he did that for the majority of the year last year too.
But there's a much better team around him there. This team.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not comparing the two defenses. I'm just saying last year was no different, and he was very, very good last year. But towards the end of the year, he started to shadow people. So I'm wondering if the Redskins are going to bite the bullet and have him shadow a number one sooner than what the Panthers did last year. Because like you said, he was surrounded by better talent down in Carolina. So it made more sense. They could wait longer for that to happen. I wonder if the Redskins say, we can't wait as long. We paid him too much money. Let's let him do his thing.
See, the interesting thing, though, about that is I think Breeland is better than who was starting opposite him in Carolina. But the difference really is that front seven and behind.
Yes.
Redskins are very, very devoid of talent, other than I would say Preston Smith, I think his name is, the outside linebacker for the Redskins, and Kerrigan. Other than that, not a great line. They have good IDP options on defense, but they're not good actual defenders as far as the NFL is concerned. And Sua Cravens isn't ready for prime time, and that's really like their only talent.
No.
So it's a bad situation for Norman, and it's a bad situation for that defense, and they're beatable. I think it's a great Zeke week, finally. I mean, I still am not loving Zeke season long because I just don't believe in the talent as much as everybody else does. But this is a good enough week where there's going to be such a threat of the run that play action is going to be money for him.
So I just want to get into it real quick. I know I'm kind of blowing you up down here with mentioning Cole Beasley, but Beasley and Witten both had double-digit targets against the Giants. Do you think we see that again? Do you think Dak kind of uses that short route as his out again this week?
It's entirely possible. I think that's where his comfort is right now. I'm not saying they're both going to have double-digit targets, and I mean, we'll get. If you want to just talk about them now, we can, and then mention them again later. But both of them are good options because they're reliable pass catchers that Dak needs because he doesn't have that perfect ball to Dez yet. That's Romo's. That's him and Romo.
That's true.
It's just I want Dez to be a thing right now with Dak, but right now I don't think it's happening, and it's a problem until Dak gets a little bit more comfortable throwing those kind of balls. But right now, all he's trying to do is not turn the ball over and give the offense a chance to keep moving, and that's what he's doing. And also, I mean, I know it sounded a little crazy when I said it last week, but the Giants' defense actually might not be bad. They look kind of good.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have so I argue with a lot of people around here because there's a lot of Giants fans who are like still hate their defense. You've got a revamped secondary, revamped, defensive line. What's not to like about that defense right now?
There's nothing not to like about them. They're good. They're a healthier JPP. He doesn't have a club on. He still has half a hand, but he doesn't have a club. Vernon on the other side, who's a monster. And Damon Snap, who was in my defense, I know how good he is. He changes the game on that line. He's huge for them. God fucking damn it. At least Marshall's okay. They're a good defense. I think people have to kind of just suck it up and deal with it. The fact that they're better than we probably thought they were heading into the season.
Yeah. Oh, you got to catch that, Brandon. Come on.
He's hurt. He's really hurting. You can see it.
No, it's got nothing to do with it. It hit him
No,
off,
I
his,
know,
it hit
but,
off
like,
his hands. Both hands.
He's just not running fully perfect. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Fine.
Hit him square in the hands. He's got to catch that. Okay. So our next guy, Northwestern alum, Trevor Siemian, sitting at 5,200. He had an atrocious week 1 against a tough Panthers D. He's taking on the Colts at home, and the Colts just gave up 1 billion yards to Matt Stafford.
Yeah, they're hashtag not good.
Yeah, and they're also very injured still, right? I mean, they've got
everyone's hurt.
Nobody.
I don't know if Gaithers is going to be back. He's really their only game breaker. They're destroyed in the secondary. They're not good in linebacker spots right now. Their line is gone.
Now
they just have Robert Mathis, and that might be it.
My big thing, though, is with Siemian, and I know his price is very low, so he doesn't have to do much to return value, but he's another one of those guys where like his floor could be like 170 yards and a touchdown because they're just going to hand the ball off to CJ Anderson and Devontae Booker all night.
But he's also going to dump the ball off to CJ. He's going to have short to intermediate routes with Sanders. I don't know. I'm not trusting DT to be active and fully healthy or 100%. So I think it is more of a Manny week than it is a DT week if you want to target this passing game.
Yeah.
But it's still like it's a similar passing game to Detroit. Detroit's is very close to the line of scrimmage now with Jim Bob Cooter, our favorite offensive coordinator.
Yeah, but volume is the opposite.
Right. But
Siemian could come out of this game with 21 pass attempts.
Yes, or he could also wind up with 2 fluky red zone touchdowns because it's 3rd and 5 inside the 10. The game script is in his favor for scoring. And the defense is bad.
Really trusting him in the red zone though?
I think so.
I didn't see it in the game. I mean, I
not against Carolina, against the
specific scenario.
This is one of those games where you find out what you have in your quarterback going forward and how you have to manage it because you know that this defense isn't stopping either. You want to give your quarterback confidence. At least that's how I feel the situation should be treated. You want to give your starting guy confidence against a really bad defense because if he doesn't show well in this game when he's given an opportunity to throw the ball, his confidence is crushed the rest of the season against better defenses, and you don't know what you have. You're back to square one. And if he really struggles passing the ball, teams are going to start keying on that, and that's going to be a really bad thing for this offense going forward.
Yeah. All right. Last quarterback on the board tonight is someone I actually had to pick up this week because I'm in a 2 QB league.
Oh, I missed him. I'm really pissed about it.
And RG3 was my QB2. He's gone. So now Josh McCown comes in at $5K on DraftKings. Oof-ah.
You'll be much happier for it, I promise.
I am. So I was listening to the DraftKings podcast, and they mentioned the games between the Ravens and the Browns last year, each of them going over, like, I think it was 55 points in terms of total scoring. That's silly, right? Yeah. The Ravens defense, I think, is better this year than it was last year.
I'm not 100% certain.
I'm not saying they're the Ravens defense of 2000, right?
No, I get
just
that.
Strictly compared to last year, they've got some folks back. Now, in saying that, though, I do feel like McCown is viable for cash here.
Yeah. Just from here's the thing cheap. That might take you off of cash is the difference in offensive coordinators. Hugh Jackson likes to slow the pace. This is a big part of this, and this is also why we have to have this conversation about McCown.
Okay.
Jackson isn't going to, like, this isn't the volume-heavy offense that McCown was throwing in last year. This is more try to control the ball. And, yes, if the score gets out of hand, then all bets are off, and he's just going to sling it. Just throwing fucking YOLO balls all over.
And that's really what I see here is that the Ravens offense is definitely better than the Ravens offense was last year, right? Especially with Flacco throwing it up now, and you've got Mike Wallace, blah blah blah, all these healthier wide receivers. I feel like they're going to go up early, so McCown's going to have to play from behind.
Right.
So I like it. Exactly what you said. I like it for that reason.
That first week when he played the Ravens, and we talked about it a lot on this podcast.
Yeah.
Bonker. What do you have? 4 touchdowns that game, and that was when Barnage broke out. Also, for everybody panicking on Barnage, don't panic anymore. His BFF is back. For every game that McCown and Barnage started together from when Barnage broke out, Barnage was, I think, a top 8 or tight end or better all of those weeks.
Good old Barnkowski. Gary Barnkowski. I know how much you love that nickname.
Hilarious.
All right. No, I agree, and I think that's a big reason why he's viable in cash.
Yeah, no.
I'm looking for 15 from him. That's all I need.
Is a great option this week too, and anybody panicking on him in season long, don't.
Yeah, you'll be fine now.
Because I'm not joking. Like, you think Tom Brady loves Gronk, dude? McCown and Barnage might sleep in the same bed together.
Which I still don't understand Gary Barnage, because he went through what, like 8 different teams.
RG3 just historically, and for some strange reason, for a quarterback of his ability, hates throwing to the tight end.
Dude, not even that though. What I'm getting at is Barnage he went through 8 different teams, was never a starter, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere last year, this guy just blows up and becomes like you said, probably a top 10 tight end for more than half the season.
I mean, I think it's one of those situations where he always had the talent but was never given the opportunity, and that happens with a lot of players.
There is a lot of players that happens to. That's true. All right, let's move off a quarterback. We're going to go to running back. Well, actually, staying in that same game, Duke Johnson sitting at 4,500 for the same reason. Well, let's try to keep this guy short. Right. For the same reason we just mentioned, right? Playing from behind, potentially going to have dump offs. Succeeded a lot last year with McCown at quarterback. Is that why you like Duke?
Again, another McCown favorite. McCown loves that short to intermediate game. Griffin was better for the deep ball. He throws a much better deep ball than McCown does. McCown is an overall better quarterback and is much more capable of putting up fantasy points, not just splash plays. He can throw a deep ball. It's not nearly as good as RG3's, but he will also work the short to intermediate routes with much more proficiency. And Duke is one of those guys. Barnage is one of those guys. Gordon will benefit from him when he comes back.
Yeah, buddy.
I think it'll make Terrell and Corey Coleman better receivers getting to play with him as opposed to RG3 also.
So, moving on to our next running back, 4,400 on DraftKings, Charles Sims. I know he was a pick of yours last week as well. I believe you played him was it in the Listener League or it was in the DK League?
Whatever league you played, I played him in.
You played him. I saw that. And did he hit value? He came close to value, I think, but he didn't quite hit it,
Yeah,
right?
no, he did. I think he had 14-something. He was at 4-1.
Is that right?
Yeah, he had a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately, I was right and wrong. I was right that Atlanta was awful at covering receiving backs, but Martin actually got a lot of that receiving work. I think in the first half he had 5 or 6 catches, which was really surprising to me. But I think in a game like this kind of game script against Arizona, where I think that Arizona is going to be pissed off and come out hot, he'll be on the field more on third downs. I think Martin just got the ball thrown to him on first and second downs. But Sims is the guy on third down, and he'll have his volume, I think. I'm not as confident in him in cash this week just because I saw what Martin did, but he still has a ton of upside. Hello, Pete.
What's going on, Jessica and Mark?
Whoa.
Hold on, let me get some headphones so that, get some headphones going.
Look at that fucking hair. Look at that hair.
Got this.
God, I've missed it.
Hang out toolbox would like to, whatever, yeah, allow. Word up!
I have missed your hair, Pete.
Dude, it's not even a thing. Like, look at this. Got
Dude,
can do this way, we can go to the left.
Now you're just rubbing it in.
Mark,
Oh.
they have this. There's all these Brian Urlacher like ads and commercials in Chicago about like regrowing your hair and shit.
Yeah. Doesn't he have a full set of hair now and he looks weird?
Yeah,
he looks
you got hair plugs.
really, really weird. Like
It's
really
very strange.
Weird. Yeah. So you should just go with it, Mark. Like that's a good look.
Just go with the hair plugs. Just pull an Urlacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
Why not? Marshall, how's Marshall doing? He's the only one I got going tonight.
He's finally alive. Oh,
Four for 84, I think, right now.
He got hurt and then he came back.
Yeah, thanks for texting me that. I appreciate the update.
You got it.
Not.
Nothing but good news from Alex.
Right.
All right, so we just finished with Charles Sims.
Like
and
him?
We will move to. I'll throw you, Pete.
Did you tell Mark about the trade that I could have done involving Sims?
No.
Nobody cares. Yeah, nobody cares. All right.
That's okay. Why don't you tell me about the trade after you tell me about Theo Riddick coming in at 4,300 on DraftKings?
Yeah, dude. PPR, Riddick, you like almost got to play him, right? I mean,
Monster.
how can you not? Like, I think Riddick is one of those guys that you like put in all your lineups and then you figure out the rest of the positions. That's how I feel about Riddick this week.
With his week last week, I don't understand how he's only at 4,300, though.
Yeah, that's absurd. That's really absurd.
See,
and I
think it's game script. I think it's game script because I think they're ahead quickly and he's not going to get the volume this week. Personally, just this week. I like him going forward in this offense because it's clearly more of a two-headed monster with Dwayne Washington stealing a couple of carries.
They use Riddick like all over the place, though. They like winning, losing. They like Riddick's on the field. Like he's just on the field. Like even
Abdullah is getting a ton of snaps too, and I just think game script wise, they're going to let Abdullah run the ball more than they're going to get Riddick as many touches as people think.
I think you give the Lions defense more credit than you should there, amigo.
Wow, your boy Quinoa having a night.
Okay, that's fine, I guess.
Oh, hey, quinoa. Speaking of quinoa, look at this shit. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I don't know. Can you guys see?
Quinoa puffs?
Quinoa puffs. These are fucking great. I don't know if I can say that on air.
They're
herb de
You
Provence.
can say whatever you want.
Okay. All right. Well, they're herb de Provence flavored quinoa puffs, and they're just like, I mean, if you're looking for a tasty, healthy snack, I should get paid for this. Like, where's my money for promoting I Heart Quinoa Puffs?
We're off the rails again.
There we
We're
go.
off the rails. Theo Riddick, use him in a lot of lineups. Forget what Alex said about game script, because Alex is wrong.
Oh, I missed the three of us together.
I love it.
That's good analysis, right? Just put him in all your lineups and
That's
forget about
That's
Alex.
it.
Alex.
All right.
Good.
So let's do
Excellent.
this then. I want to try something new here because we actually have we have the opportunity to do it right here. LeGarrette Blount and James White are both 4,000. So Alex, you tell me why I should play Blount, and Pete, you tell me why I should play White.
Well, I'm right. I think that it's Blount because game script. We didn't think the game script was going to go the way it did against Arizona, and it did. And when the game script is like that for the Patriots, Blount eats. And I think that that's the case against Miami. He's going to be – it's game script dependent. He's going to be the lead back in that charge. They don't really need White this week.
Pete, rebuttal?
Miami won't be like as offensively challenged forever. And
What?
dude, Adam Gase will get something figured out. I don't know what it's going to be, but he'll get something figured out. Devontae Parker might be back.
Yeah,
They're
but
not going to be that offensive.
Come on. Week 2 against the Patriots? I don't think so.
They're not going to be that bad forever on offense. Like they're not going to play at Seattle every week. And like again, this is a PPR format. Like I think that this is a weird way of putting it, but I think that James White's floor is higher.
Of course it is.
Than LeGarrette Blount's floor, and his ceiling is also higher than LeGarrette Blount's ceiling. Alex is like, oh, that's a good point. I'm going to turn away and look this direction.
I'm also going to go with it's more likely that Blount hits his ceiling than White does.
Hashtag WRURA.
Listen,
Would
Blunt
rather
has the
use
opportunity-
Riddick anyway.
Listen, Mark made this mention about baseball. This is something that you try to do with hitters, and I think you also have to take the chance on doing this in tournaments with running.
There's no crying in baseball.
Give me a second. When you're looking for hitters, you're trying to find a few guys that have the potential to hit 2 home runs in tournaments.
Yeah, that's why I said I'd rather not use
Blunt,
either.
With Blunt is one of those guys that has the ability to score 2 touchdowns in a game or more, and that's why I think he's a much better play.
Look, you're looking for a couple hitters. I'll call up Vito and Tony. I'll get you a couple hitters. No problem.
Oh my God, speechless.
All right.
And
Moving
Alex
along.
Alex is off. He's off screen.
Yeah. Oh, the trade just got accepted, and I'm getting texts from the league. Let's see what they have to say.
What's the trade? What's the trade? Talk to me.
Yeah. All right. So I spoke earlier on the show how badly I fucked up the auction. We just traded Cooks and Booker for Freeman and Tevin Coleman. But we still have Kelvin, Amari Cooper, Moncrief. Who's the other one?
Kelvin, Amari Cooper, Moncrief, Alshon, Devontae Parker, and Tajay. Honestly, since I have Tajay, I'm very happy to do
You
this.
just kind of had to overpay for running back.
Right.
Come on.
Whatever. I mean, I'm not like a huge Cooks fan. He had a great week 1. My argument is I'm selling high.
Hey!
Fucking Forte. No, sorry, I said it again.
No, you are allowed to curse. Say whatever the
That's
fuck
fine.
you want.
Yeah.
But this is a family-friendly show there, eh? All the Canadians up there are watching, like, thinking, hey, I don't know about these Americans and their swearing words and stuff.
If you're gambling, you can curse. So I think that's
Right.
how we do it on that.
I would have preferred a fade to Marshall, perhaps, but
Of course,
Yeah.
but I'm just happy that they're winning.
I don't care. I want Marshall to get all the points.
Okay, I wanted Cook to get all the points, but you guys won, and I'm sure you don't care.
I did care, actually. I had a lot of Cook.
Yeah,
That sucked. But, oh well. All right. On to, wow. Someone is 37,000 on DraftKings. That's impressive. Chandron.
Did I write an extra 0?
Yeah, it's fine. 3,700 for Chandron. How can you like him, Alex?
He's going to catch the ball out of the backfield. They're going to be down heavily, and I think they're going to just bottle up Hyde, and I think they just have to get the ball to Drone a little bit.
Doesn't Hyde catch the ball a little bit though too?
Not really. He does, but I think Drone showed on Monday night and has been hyped up by Kelly as a guy that he wants to get on the field. Remember, with Kelly, the pace is so quick that they're not just going to leave Hyde on for every snap. Drone's going to get his snaps and he's going to get his touches. And he catches the ball most of the time when he's on the field. He's more likely to catch the ball than run the ball. And for PPR, that's perfect.
That's beautiful. So kind of the James White argument. All right.
Yeah, but better, and the game script is more favorable.
The game script is more favorable, yeah, for sure.
Better because he's on a worse offense or has a worse quarterback or like what's okay.
Those are exactly
Or a worse head coach.
And I'm not so sure
Coach.
to say better quarterback when it's Gabbert and Garoppolo. I don't think we're not getting into that argument.
Jimmy Garoppolo is a very fine young man.
We're not getting into that argument. I love it.
We are not having a Gabbert versus Garoppolo argument.
Talk about off the rails. Oh my God. Let's see. Oh, nice. Someone said quinoa puffs for $4,700. Do you think that's a good flex?
Yes. You cannot do any better than some quinoa puffs.
You guys know I've been calling him quinoa since last year, so
Nobody likes my end of the trade in our league.
you guys
Alex.
want, we can call him quinoa pops the rest of the season. I'm good with that.
All right. Our next running back, Alf Morris, 3,600. I know you mentioned you weren't a big fan of Zeke earlier, right, in season long, but Alf at 3,600. Why do you like him, Pete? I'll go to Pete on this one. Why should we bother playing Alfred Morris at 3,600 when he doesn't catch a ball?
Look, Alex made these stupid lists, not me. So I'm gonna say no to Alf.
Okay.
I mean, okay, look. No, I mean you're exactly right. He doesn't catch the ball. Here's what Alex is gonna say. Ready? I'm gonna put my Alex hat on. Hold on.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Oh, tell me you have a backwards hat.
I don't. This is gonna have to suffice.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. Fucking towel.
You look like some sort of like female Disney character.
Well, that's my Alex impression, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so the game script is going to go like they're going to run heavy and Washington can't stop anybody. Washington's bad on the ground, and it's 3,600, and it's a tournament flyer, so you should use them. Also, go Jets and the Mets as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to have volume. The Washington defense is god-awful, and he might have upside in a tournament.
What is he? He just repeated everything I said.
I was reiterating that those are big points.
Okay. That was we need
I'll find
that more often.
I'll find a real baseball hat for next time.
We need that more often. All right, Alex.
But I don't want anything to tame this beautiful mane.
You can't. Yeah.
You can't tame the mane.
I'm growing mine out a little, trying to.
Oh, dude, you got an Urlacher going on. That's awesome.
You can't stop
I'm kidding,
Pete's hair.
Looks nice.
You can't stop
Looks
Pete's
nice.
hair. You can only hope to contain it.
Oh, I don't know if even that's possible.
There's no containing.
All right, so we've got our last running back on the board, Alex Travaris Cadet. I think game script. I think his role, PPR, all of that plays into his factor. Again, what I want you to tell me here is cash viable, yes or no? Because I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, because he had 3 money targets. 3 targets inside the 10. Money zone. That's big. He caught one got called back on a penalty. 3 targets inside that zone, that is huge. Those are big-time plays. That's how Allen Robinson became huge last year.
Mm-hmm.
Decker, when you get those money targets, they make you money. I'm taking a chance on guys that are going to get those targets more times than I'm taking guys that don't.
And at 3,000, he's hardly got to do anything.
Yeah, you catch 3 balls for 20 yards, and he doesn't kill your lineup.
Yeah. All right. That's it for running backs this week. Let's move on.
I'll just add one thing. It's always good when Alex and I agree on a player.
Yeah, usually.
Always good, huh?
It's always good.
The only person that we've staunchly disagreed upon so far is Kelvin, and right now he's winning.
And I'm totally going to be right on this one.
I still don't see it, but okay. I mean, I see it more now, but I just don't believe in it.
I mean, I know that you're not a big fan of his hands, but when you're gigantic, you're a decent enough route runner, you have a huge catch radius, and Cam Newton looks your way like all the time. Like that's all you need. Like you undervalue
success.
Alex, let me tell you something. You undervalue situations, sir.
See, I just thought that
you talk about game script all the time, but you undervalue general situations.
No, I don't. I don't think I do. Sometimes, but not. I don't think.
It's okay. I undervalue talent a lot, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm more.
That's why. See, that's why I say that. That's why I say when we agree on a player, it's excellent because we both have different viewpoints. So if we both are on the same page, then
right. I'm more talent based. You're more just pure situation.
Yeah.
I think I'm more blended, but I skew talent heavy.
Yeah.
Because I like if I see it on tape, I'm more apt to believe it.
So I'm getting a little frustrated here watching. I'm gonna go off the rails myself watching LaShawn McCoy run the ball because all he does is dance.
Yep.
And get tackled behind.
All I want to do is dance, dance, dance now.
And now with Tyrod out, DJ Manuel in.
Wait, Tyrod's out?
Yeah, Tyrod's in my head.
He just got. It looked like he just got concussed. Looked like he just got knocked the fuck out.
It looked bad.
They're bringing him in.
Oh, dude!
Passed the concussion test. Wow.
Yo, they're gonna get so fined. I promise you.
No, dude. Now they got film of the doctors talking to him.
Right, but I'm sure that something got wrong and they're gonna get fined. I promise.
Wow, dude. Because
I got Tyrod going in a couple leagues, so let's go Tyrod.
All over. I benched him in my 2-quarterback league, and I feel like such a jackass.
He legit looked like he got knocked out, dude. I don't know how they let him back on.
Well, technically, he hasn't run a play yet, so they're not in trouble yet.
That's true too.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on to wide receivers, we've got
step your game up.
A couple of Chargers here, Alex and Pete. Travis Benjamin, 4,400. Tyrell Williams, 3,700. What's Dontrell Inman this week? Do you know, Alex?
I'm not a huge fan. I don't think he has enough upside for me.
So The way that I see it is Inman's probably going to benefit from a PPR perspective, but Benjamin has to go deep to get any value. So I think Benjamin's ceiling is high, but they have to use him the right way. They weren't using him that way last week.
Well, they didn't game plan to have to use Benjamin in short and intermediate. Now they have
right. They didn't game plan to not have Keenan, right? Pretty much.
So
I mean, I think this is like a Woodhead game.
I mean, well,
yes.
Pete and I are going to refer to this a lot, but we scooped Tyrell Williams in the offseason in our league together. We're playing with like Jeff Miller, who we had on the podcast last year, and a bunch of really, really smart people. I'm probably starting him this week. It's either him or Sean Drone. I haven't made a decision yet.
Sean Drone.
But
he played Tyrell.
He's a guy that Pete and I both like. He's 6'3", 6'4", real legit speed. Rivers hit him on two deeper plays last week. He fits the mold of the more prototypical one downfield guy. So I think that role, that true number one that Rivers likes, where he's doing everything, he'll go deep, he'll go intermediate, he'll go short, is going to fall on Benjamin. And that's why I like him, because I think he's going to lead the team in targets easily. So I think I would agree. Again, like we talked about last week, targets, guaranteed targets at that price point, I'm
not convinced that Benjamin is the guaranteed target guy.
Nope. Give me Woodhead.
I think the guaranteed target guys are Woodhead, Gates, and actually Tyrell. Like, I'd rather play Tyrell over Benjamin, and maybe that's crazy, but I mean, because I don't think Benjamin's role changes. Like, when you have to absorb a loss like Keenan Allen, you have to kind of make the minimal impact. I think, what, I wouldn't be surprised. I think this bumps up Tyrell, and I actually wouldn't be surprised if Inman has a nice game here. I really wouldn't.
Well, then it's really more of a situation to watch, and you can kind of try to plug in any of these guys if you believe in them. I think until we see more, because we really don't know how this offense is going to be game planned.
When did Alex become so loquacious with his responses?
I kind of always been loquacious. You just make me laugh, and then I sound like a jackass half the time.
Not exactly the loquacious type. Sorry.
I like the way you say loquacious.
It was an Inglourious Bastards reference.
Finally didn't fuck up.
And he's dancing. Dude, you got to dance better than that if you make an interception.
Pyrod's head was spinning, so he underthrew Watkins. Watkins hasn't looked terrible, by the way. I'm kind of really happy about that going forward.
He also hasn't done anything.
Yeah, but he hasn't looked awful, which is good, and he doesn't look completely hurt.
Well, he mentioned last week that he's just not 100%.
Well, he also said
he's not like injured again. He's just not 100%.
Right. Before the game, he said that it was more painful because he wasn't doing anything on the sideline, and when he was doing nothing, the pain got worse. So tonight, he's kind of been like walking around on the sideline, keeping things moving so that the pain doesn't really get to him. So I think he looks better than he did last week, personally.
Gotcha.
And I think that's a good thing going forward. He's not going to be 100%, but as long as he's not in as much pain, he should be fine.
All right, here we go. Next wide receiver, Steve Smith Senior. I like it. 4,300. He is a PPR and target hog going against that Brown secondary that just has been getting beat for well over a year now. Pete, are you on board with Mr. Steve Smith Senior?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what to do with the Ravens this year, and I want no part of them. I actually thought
no Flacco pizzas. Come on, Pete.
I had a dumb sports thought last week. I was like, maybe this Ravens Bills could be sneaky high scoring, and then it was just pathetic. It was why am I watching this? So no, I think I'm until further notice, I'm sitting all Ravens.
Yeah, but
not even the pizza slinging Flacco. I will play the Ravens defense this week. I know, I just blew your mind. Mark's mind just exploded, but I'm off
Mark's gone.
Dude, they're that's crazy. I can't believe you don't like the Ravens offense. I don't want any. They're like chalk.
No, I don't want any. Just because it's the Browns?
Yeah, because the Browns are terrible. In the two games that they played last year, each game went over 55 points total.
Yeah, that's a good point. I kind of thought the Ravens were a decent play last week.
Well, the Ravens' defense looks great on paper because Cleveland's offense looked awful, but they have a different quarterback. And
that's true.
they just looked better than they did last year.
And McCown lit them up last year.
Yeah, and I just don't think that the gains that Baltimore seemingly made against the Bills last week will carry over because they were just.
I don't hate the Smith play. What's his price, Mark? What was he at?
36.
Steve.
Yeah, I mean at that price, that's
at 43.
Yeah, no, that's why I have it because I mean he had targets last week. He had like
it's a good value pick with upside. Oh, okay.
5 catches for 19 yards, and I think he's just kind of getting himself into a little bit more into game shape off of that injury. He's gonna explode soon. Like I know he's gonna explode soon, and much to my chagrin, Kamar Aiken is not going to be a thing this year. I think that's very easy to tell because he had 2 targets last week, which was not okay.
It's tough to have 5 catches and only 19 yards.
Right.
Like that's not going to happen this week again.
Yeah. But I really like Smith. I don't know if not cash, but in tournament that could be huge because we know what kind of upside he has.
I'm comfortable with him in cash. I think he can get. I mean, because he led the team in targets last week.
Okay.
He could easily do it again this week.
And again,
I don't.
When you do ask me for those recommendations, like me and Pete only play tournaments now. We don't even play cash, so it's kind of hard for us to really feel like we're giving you a safer answer when we're talking about cash questions because we don't really have that mindset. We just find guys that we think have upside in lineups, and we're going.
I definitely think Smith has upside as well, so I'm good with him.
Becker's going bonkers though. Becker's going bonkers.
Yeah, he is.
More to Marshall.
I know. Seriously, just give Marshall something.
He's got 6.1. Calm down.
No, I will not calm down.
I want a TD. I will not calm down until he scores.
6 for 101, and it looked like he tore his knee up.
I want all the points.
Listen, you go back to being loquacious.
Okay, I will.
All right.
Go back
actually, I'm okay. The more I think about it, I don't mind the Steve Smith play. Actually, I think it's not bad.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, we'll move on to Will Fuller. Alex, 4,200 for Will Fuller. What was he? Was he bare minimum last week?
No, but close to it. I don't know.
Close to it. So, yeah, I mean, with the week he had, for him to stay at 4,200, that's pretty low. What are you thinking? His upside's clearly high.
Upside. That's it. It's upside. You're never playing Will Fuller in cash. Ever. Never, ever, ever do that. But he led the team in targets on a team with DeAndre Hopkins.
That's impressive.
That is a good thing. Osweiler has shown a lot of chemistry with him. Again, this is a new quarterback situation. We could be seeing a trend. Something that Nuke owners don't want to hear, but I think they should be prepared for, is that it's going to be a lot more even between these two as far as targets go. I still think Nuke is better, obviously, but Will Fuller has the ability to break plays like no one else.
He is kind of electric.
Who's Houston playing this week?
KC.
Yeah, with no pass rush, essentially. Ali is still kind of working his way back from being hurt.
No Houston. D Ford looked matchup.
Yeah, I like the Fuller call.
I would be very worried about this matchup if they had their full defense ready to roll and look like they can, but they don't have a pass rush, and that's going to give Osweiler time.
Agreed.
I like the Fuller call.
Eli Rogers, 4,100. He looked good on Monday night. Pete, thinking he can hit the end zone this week?
Yeah, I like Eli. I mean, he did look good, and he gets a lot of catches, so I think he's one that has a low floor. I actually have like a side bet with one of my buddies, over under 80.
Not low floor.
You don't think so? I do, just because of PPR.
Low floor at all. I think Roethlisberger low.
I meant high floor. Did I say low floor?
Yeah, you said, yeah.
Sorry, I meant high floor, just because of PPR format.
Yeah, no. He's getting those targets. He's still cheap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a good play. Like, I actually have a side bet with one of my buddies over under on 80 catches this year. I took the over.
Yeah, I'm
80.
That's tough, but I could be on that side of that bet also. If he's healthy.
I mean, it's only 5. It's 5 catches a game if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
That's
getting targets for it. And yes, his touchdown was a little fluky, but his floor is great.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was saying. I meant to say he has a high floor.
He has the second highest floor at his price range, his exact price, because the next person we're about to talk about
Mr. Taj Bay.
Taj Bay, sharp. Dude's a stud. Roll him. Cash, tournament, the end. Just play him. He got 11 targets last week. He's Mariota's best friend now. Again, game script in that game. He got all of this. He got almost every snap, and no other Tennessee wide receiver had more than, I think, 36.
So Darius Slay doesn't scare you off him at all?
Low 70s. He's on the field all the time. Mariota loves him. He's going to throw him the ball. He'll eventually run into a touchdown. 11 targets at 4,100 from last week. You roll it. Like how Pete was saying, like, I build my lineup around this. This is the guy you put in first, and then you figure the rest out.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
So Darius Slay not scaring you guys off him at all?
Not even a little.
Wow.
Darius Slay hasn't scared me off anybody in a long time.
Like the way, just again, like I talked about last week, Tajay route running is outstanding. His athleticism leaves a little bit to be desired, but from a route running perspective and from catching the ball, he's as good as it gets in this rookie class.
So you know what I thought of a couple days ago was actually, remember, or was it 2 years ago when we talked about the Odell wide receiver class?
Mm-hmm.
This year's wide receiver class has similar potential.
No, not even close.
Absolutely.
No way.
There's a lot of talent.
This is the worst offensive rookie class
that came out,
of
dude.
this decade. I promise you.
A lot of talent.
In the 2010s, I can guarantee you this will probably go down as the worst rookie class to come out.
There's a lot of receiver talent, though. I'm kind of with Mark on this.
There's talent, but it's not
a lot of receiver talent there, dude.
There are no
top to bottom. There's
number ones coming out of this draft class. I'm sorry.
You don't think Treadwell has potential or Fuller?
I love Treadwell, but I don't think he's going to be a top 12 wide receiver.
Treadwell, Fuller, Doxson, Coleman, Tajay.
I don't think any of those guys are capable of putting up consecutive wide receiver one seasons in season long. They have upside for great games.
I think I would say out of those guys, I would say I think Fuller does for sure. If Treadwell gets in a good situation, I think he does.
Yeah,
I mean,
like Treadwell a lot.
But you're asking to compare these guys to Amari Cooper and Mike Evans and Allen Robinson and Julio Jones. They don't come close. I don't think even projecting ahead in the future. And a lot of these guys that we're talking about, either Eli Rogers isn't a rookie. He's a second year. There are a lot of guys that might seem like rookies, but they're also not part of this class. Tajay turned out pretty well, but other than that, like the depth of this class is really not that good at all. Where 2014, like we spent a lot of time on air talking about that class. Odell, Evans, Watkins, Kelvin, the later round guys, and Moncrief, and all like everyone, Martavis. That class was loaded. This class is not loaded.
Ooh.
Not loaded anywhere close to that 2014 class. And I don't think as much as last year either.
I think there's still a lot of talent.
There's always talent coming into the league, but in my opinion, from what I've looked at, I still think that this offensive rookie class is the worst that it's been in a while.
Oh, well, we'll see. It's gonna be a fun season, that's for sure. Gonna be a lot of fun watching. See what happens. Let's see. Next up, and this is gonna be my last guy of the night because I've got to head out. But I gotta end on Brandon LaFell. Ugh. Talk to me, Pete. Yes or no on LaFell?
I mean, every time you want to like get interested in LaFell, he just lets you down. So I'm out.
It's an upside play. He had 4 catches for 91 yards, and he looked pretty good against the Jets secondary. But watching this game right now, I'm less confident about that. As more of our secondary isn't as good. So,
yeah.
Before I put him on there because I was thinking that our secondary was still pretty good, but watching what has happened tonight, not so much. So I'm less confident in the LaFell play, but he's still.
The wide receiver 2 in Cincinnati has actually put up pretty decent numbers.
We've seen him express his upside before, is all I'm saying. And as long as he doesn't drop the ball, he will have enough volume to be viable. Again, targets at that price range, not safe for cash, solid for tournaments. Because if he gets in the end zone, he sets your line.
He pays, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He pays and sets your line apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, boys.
And that's probably a high-scoring game, too.
Wait, Mark, can you just send me the list real quick in the chat? Because I am logged into yours and I can't get on my email. Thanks, man.
You got it, dude. Right, there's the chat. Tip for me, I gotta sign off because
Mark, it was fun to see you again, sir.
Pete, it's always fun. Hey, you never return texts in the off season, man.
Ever.
I don't? I thought I did. What did I not respond to?
Me, you and Alex were, unless you change your number or something, we were in a.
He just doesn't. I don't know.
We were in a group
I read 'em
text,
all.
and me and Alex were basically just going back and forth.
Yeah, in our group text.
I always respond to individual texts.
Yeah, like if I text Pete personally, he'll answer. If it's a group text, he's like, "Nah, I'm good."
Wow.
Dude,
All right.
I got people to see and do.
So yeah,
It would make more sense though for you to answer a group text, because then you only have to text one.
It's more efficient, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm more of like a personal person. You know?
you
Personal
can't make
person.
that distinction if you're trying to save time. One's
Okay.
another.
So
All right, I'll respond to more
I'm
group
the same
texts.
way. I don't mind spending a little extra time talking to separate people, but it's easier to communicate at the same. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Before I drop, I gotta ask you, Pete. Have you heard of the beer Sip of Sunshine?
No.
No. Okay.
So this is another one I got to drink?
I don't know how easy it'll be for you to get it, but I got
Okay.
it. It's tough to get around here, and I got a set. I got a 4-pack.
What type of beer is it?
What's that?
What type of beer is it? IPA?
Yes.
Okay.
IPA. It's by. Hold, please. It's very popular around here for some reason. I've
been into this new beer. It's a lager. It's called Zwickel. I like it a lot.
Sip of Sunshine.
I'm not drinking it tonight though, but good.
It's by Lawson's. Lawson's Finest Liquids.
Okay.
Sip of Sunshine IPA.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I really liked the Ninjas versus Unicorns.
Did you?
Yeah,
I couldn't believe you actually found it.
They actually sell it here in here where I live now.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I was very pleased with that development.
All right, sir. Do a little Google. Type it into the Google, and
Do some Googles. Use the Googles.
See if you want it. If you'd like, I can perhaps arrange a shipment out to you. So
Deal.
let me know.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Alex is gonna owe me some beer after our Kelvin bet.
Yep.
Yeah.
I might as well just. I'm probably gonna wind up just giving you money to send him the beer.
All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of the night. We'll talk soon.
All right, peace.
Peace.
And it's time to go off the rails. It's just the two of us now.
I know. Like I already took us so far off, but now there are even less rules.
When you and I get to get like, if it's just the two of us, we're gone. Like I don't even know like the rest of these names. It's fine.
Yeah,
Finish wide receiver before we go off the rails.
sounds good to me.
All right. So Chris Hogan, 3,500 on DraftKings.
Good. Yeah, yep.
Another guy, 4 to 6 targets last week. Touchdown potential. I hate Garoppolo.
Like, where does New England keep coming up with like these tiny white guys that can catch footballs?
Well, okay, you want to
like, do they just have like a tiny white guy factory in Boston? Like, just like
He's not tiny. Okay, real.
dude, he
talk,
looks tiny. I don't care if he's tiny or not.
Serious story. We played high school lacrosse, not together, but at the same time. He played at
You and Chris Hogan?
me and Chris Hogan played for Ramapo High School, Bergen County, New Jersey.
Oh, Ramapo? I know that place. Yeah. Okay.
He used to shoot 100 miles an hour from the left side in lacrosse. Dude is better at lacrosse than he is at football, and he is a starting wide receiver in the NFL. That is a true story. That is a fact. He is that much better at lacrosse than he is at football, and he's starting in the NFL. Like, that's how crazy good of an athlete he is. I hate that he's playing for the Patriots because I would love to root for him, but right now I can't. But athletically, dude is legit. He was part of this Buffalo Bills offense that there's not enough volume for him to be viable, but in this offense, he's capable of being viable. He's better than Amendola. Definitely.
You mean New England Patriots offense? Oh yeah, I'd play him over. I think I'd play him over every Patriots pass catcher except Edelman.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. What are we talking about?
I like it. And again, like you were saying with White, like I would rather play Hogan versus White. If it came down to a flex decision and you were picking in that price range, which is very similar, I'm going Hogan over White 100%.
I would agree with that statement.
All right, next up, we talked about him earlier. You weren't. I don't think you were on yet. Cole Beasley, 3,200. What do you think?
Well, as we said, we're very big fans of the 11 targets or 12 targets. How many was it?
Targets. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not big fans of the Dallas like run first, run second, run third, and maybe pass like later. But 12 targets, less than $4,000. I mean, that's pretty good.
Because we did talk about this earlier. We were saying I don't think there's going to be as much volume for Dak because he threw.
Dude, Decker is just shredding this defense.
Decker's a stud.
Fuck.
Let's go, Decker. All right. Anyway, I don't think the volume is going to be there as much, but at the same time, he and Witten are Dak's security blanket. And at this cheap of a price, the floor is too high for you not to at least consider him in cash. I don't know if he has the upside for tournaments that you really want, but again, at 3,200, if he gets 15 points, that's enough upside for tournaments also. So you
right, and that's like 8 catches for 70 yards or something.
Right. So
on 12 targets.
Again, like I'm not in love with it. I think there are better options, i.e. Hogan, i.e. Sharp. But if you have to go down to this range, we can also, I guess, we can just kind of bring this in with Jeremy Curley now too, who's at min price. He also had 11 targets and looked like the focal point of that passing game.
Yeah, I think I'd rather play Curley than Beasley.
Yeah, I agree, because I think that at least this San Francisco's volume will be steady, or at least increase because they're playing Carolina. Where I see the volume maybe decreasing.
To be fair, though, I mean, if you look at what Pittsburgh did last week to Washington, I mean, I could see Beasley doing like a poor man Eli Rogers Antonio Brown combo.
Right, but at the same time, like I just think that the Redskins' rush defense is so bad that it really is a Zeke and Alf day. I know you don't like it, but I think that they're just going to run. This is the game where they are going to be able to legitimately run down the Redskins' throat. And
yeah, I could see that.
This could be one of those games where maybe Dak only has 15 passing attempts. Like that's a genuine possibility.
I could see that.
So
I mean, that's what they'd want anyway.
So I guess when we're saying like if you need to go basically min price, we definitely would recommend Curley over Beasley, but both are safe to use.
Yeah, I'd play Curley over Beasley. I agree with that statement.
Right.
Okay.
Did you watch the new South Park last night, by the way?
No.
You don't watch the new South Park, so you only watch the old ones, right?
Correct. Like, oh god, Forte got in again.
Yes, let's go. He might be the best running back in fantasy right now.
I mean, I think he is, to be honest.
He didn't score touchdowns last week, but he did it now.
No, I only watch the old ones. Like Scott Tenorman Must Die.
Oh, I told you that's my favorite episode of all time.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah. Do you like it? Do you like it, Scott?
Yeah.
Did we talk when we went off the rails with our South Park thing last year?
Yeah. Oh my God, that was fun.
Did I tell you about the time I actually went to South Park, Colorado?
Really? There's an actual South Park?
It's not a city, it's a county.
Okay.
And there's a city in it called Alma, Colorado, which like considers itself to be like they have a South Park bar when I was there. This was like 2000. This was like 2002 or 2003. And the reason I bring it up is because when I was there, we actually randomly went in there. It was like raining really hard. We were trying to get to Denver. We were coming up from the south. And we just stopped in there and we're like, oh, wow, we're actually in South Park, Colorado. Went in and had some beers. And it just so happened they were having a burro race. Do you know what a burro race is?
Not a clue. Unless it has
to do with
ground.
You know what a burro is, right? Do you know what a burro is?
Like the holes that the groundhogs make?
No, not like burrowing, but like burro, like burrow.
No.
It's a donkey, okay? It's a donkey.
Oh, okay.
It's like a donkey. So you hop on this donkey and you race to like a bar like across the mountain, and then you have a beer and then you race back, and like that's the burro race. So it's like, yeah, we totally did it.
Like we used to play in college. We drunk driving Mario Kart. You have to finish a beer in a lap. Like you could not. You would get disqualified if you didn't finish the beer before you finished the lap.
That's pretty cool. Like so
because like you see a lot of people like just do the lap, get to the finish line before they finish the lap, chug the beer, and then go again. Or people try to play and drink the beer while doing the course. It got very interesting very quickly.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. And
So this girl that I'm dating, she like
because one of my buddies is texting me. He was there for some of these. He knows. He's watching. He can.
this girl that I'm dating like loves Mario Kart. Like she's played like thousands of hours of Mario Kart, and she is a big fan. Yeah,
One of the greatest games
so,
ever.
I'm gonna totally suggest this. Yeah, I'm gonna suggest.
It makes things
invite some
very
friends over.
interesting.
I like this. So anyway, long story short, South Park, Colorado, which is a county apparently. South Park County.
I think
Like Park County and South Park County.
we should purposely get back on the rails after purposely getting off the rails.
All right. Anyway, I raced a donkey in the rain drunk in South Park, Colorado.
All right, so tight end again, Pete. I know I told you, but just to reiterate, we're doing the pricing
Right.
specific. So at 3,500 and below, otherwise we would have talked about Barnage a lot more.
Right.
But Ebron is perfect, right at 35.
Yeah, I like Ebron this week. I'm actually playing Ebron in a lot of season-long leagues, and I think he's a good play. So obviously that means that you can use him at a low price.
And again, this offense looks really good with our favorite offensive coordinator, Jim Bob Cooter.
Jim Bob Cooter.
This is an interesting.
Dude, we should have a segment on the show called Cooterin' It Up. I don't know what would happen in that section. Segment.
It's fine. I'm good with it.
Yeah, there we go. All right, Cooterin' It Up. Playing with my cooter.
So
that's the name of the section. Playing with my cooter, and then we discuss the lines every week.
100% down. Just don't warn Mark first, and I just want to see his face when we do it.
Dude, you know what we should do? Okay, next time we have the show, let's lead off with that. Like Mark will start. Like let's talk about quarterbacks. Okay. And one of us needs to have something ready to like play, like some kind of weird ass country music or something.
Because we both know he's not gonna watch the show to find out that we're playing.
He's not. He has no idea this is coming. He's not gonna watch this shit. So he's gonna get like he might, but then he'll get to the story about South Park and he'll just turn it off. So it's perfect. That's like the perfect like blocker.
Yeah, we blocked their play. Okay, we'll figure it out.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play dueling banjos, and then you and I are both gonna go. What time is it? You know, like something like that. Alex, do you hear that? What time could it be? I don't know. I think it's playing with our cooter time. Have you seen the Eric Andre show?
I know. I've never seen his show, but he's.
Oh my god! You got to go watch the Eric Andre show. This is like we need the Eric Andre show playing with my cooter segment. Like that's what needs to happen. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
I did actually have
We're doing that though. Like, don't even like back out.
We'll down.
When you hear me start playing dueling banjos, you got to like start clapping. Like you know exactly what's coming.
Okay, I'm in. I'm absolutely in.
Okay.
All right, but back
to.
There's a very interesting stat nugget that I heard on the Living the Stream podcast from JJ Zacharyson, who is a fantastic fantasy mind. If you should check him out if you haven't. He's the late round quarterback. Apparently, the only incompletions that Matt Stafford threw were to Marvin Jones because he's the only one in that offense that goes deep. Every other pass that he threw to Ebron, to Abdullah, to Riddick, to Tate, to Bolden, every single pass was completed because they throw that ball from the line of scrimmage to the 5 yards plus minus the line of scrimmage now with that their offense. And that makes good things happen for Ebron because he was on the field for close to 90% of the snaps this week coming off of a bulky ankle that people thought he might not even play, and he showed up, got one of those money targets that we've been talking about, and he's a great play. He really is.
I think he's a good candidate for like almost every weekly play.
Yeah, his price is I think his price is gonna go up, and we're not gonna be able to talk about him on the show anymore. But while he is capable of being talked about, play him. Yeah. Huge play. All right. Next up, Jesse James. Again,
LeBron James.
My reasoning is similar to Eli Rogers, except for the fact that he had 2 money targets. So he had 2 targets inside the 10.
LeBron James.
But he had those targets. Again, those are important, which I think separates him from Eli because they do this a lot of the same thing. But Jesse James is is a bigger target that Ben's going to target.
What's his price?
3,400 on DraftKings.
It's a little high for me for.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I mean, he does have the potential for touchdowns, and at tight end, I think the tight end position is abysmal this year. So when you're streaming a tight end that's around this price, all you really want is a touchdown because they're basically providing value for you. So I think this year it's going to be a lot of the the lower end tight ends that we're going to talk about are just basically streaming options where you're praying for a touchdown.
Okay. I think I could find cheaper that I'd rather play.
No, we have a list. Don't worry.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, a guy that has those kind of money targets, and Roethlisberger has shown the desire to throw to the tight end a lot in the red zone. Also, in both games last year, I think Heath Miller had 10 catches in both games against the Bengals.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Matchup-wise, great matchup because Roethlisberger is going to try to target the tight end in this matchup, especially without Burfict in the lineup. So I think that does make this a better play than it looks, where it does look like those two things, the 2 money targets and previous history against the Bengals, I think makes this a really solid play. I'm not sure if I'm playing it in cash, but it's absolutely a must in tournaments. Not all of your lineups, but it's a must use somewhere. You have to have.
I'm good with that.
You have to have exposure if you're playing tournaments. If you're playing,
yeah, I think that's fair.
He's a must-have exposure play.
At least in one lineup, I would agree.
Okay. Next up, Vance McDonald at 3K, which is not the minimum. If you guys are unaware, the minimum has been moved down for tight ends to 25. Vance McDonald, what do you think?
He's all right. I mean, I think he's a very similar case. You just got to have exposure, but not on my list of going to use a lot.
Yeah, I don't think he has nearly the upside that Jesse James does in this matchup this week.
Yeah,
but
I would agree.
Gabbert throws him the ball, and at 3K, if he gets in the end zone, he's getting you value like he did last week. He's not a huge upside play, but he has shown top 10 tight end scoring with Gabbert at quarterback, and at that pricing, you can fit in a lot of stuff. And obviously, if you need that extra $400 off of Jesse or the $500 off of Ebron, it's not a bad play.
Yeah, I'd rather spend up for one of those two, but I agree.
Can we sadly talk about Jared Cook at 3,000? Because I mean, I still think he has everything that we talked about.
Yeah, I mean, you can't read a whole lot into 1 week. I think Cook is still like, I want to see if we get to week 3 and he still hasn't done anything, then I think I'm off the Cook wagon. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Until I think, like, I want to see week 2 and I want to see week 3. I'll probably have lower exposure to him this week.
Of course.
And if he doesn't do anything, I'll have no exposure in week 3.
Right.
But I want to see those 3 weeks, and then we'll go from there. Because this week against Minnesota, I don't know how that's going to go. But I want to see 3 weeks of Cook doing nothing before I'm totally off him. I think this week he's usable, especially at 3K. And I think I'd rather play him over Vance McDonald, honestly.
Yeah, I see. I think I would rather play Vance in cash and Cook in tournaments because Cook has the upside, but Vance I think is safer with Gabbert.
That's fair.
I think that's how. Like I know, like we said, like you and I, we don't play cash anymore. But
right, yeah.
If I'm making that decision, I'm taking Cook's upside.
We should explain on some show like what we do and why.
Yeah, we'll get to that though. We're at this rate, we're going to be done at 1 o'clock in the morning.
No, I mean I want to be done like now. I'm just saying at some point in the future we should explain my.
I agree. You should, but you get home too late, so whatever.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we have 3 more tight ends, by the way, and then 3.
Let's lightning round tight ends and defense. Lightning round.
Clive Walford going up against Atlanta, 2,900. Atlanta's not very good against tight end. Cooper.
Walford's gonna have a big game eventually.
Right, he's gonna blow up eventually. His price will go up. It probably won't be one of those guys that goes up to like 5,000 or 6,000 and stays there, but I think he'll fluctuate in that 4 to 5 range as things kind of start to normal out. But he's not going to be this cheap for this long. So
I think Walford is the type of guy that you plug in like when you need that extra 300-400.
Right, like I think he's a combination of Vance and Cook to me.
Yeah.
I think Cook has the most upside. Vance has the best floor, but Walford's in the middle. Like he doesn't have the best floor, but he has a better floor than Cook. He doesn't have quite the upside as Cook, but he's more likely to reach his ceiling than Cook is, I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, next up, Dennis Pitta. We talked about him last week also.
We talked about the Ravens earlier, so we can do a real lightning round on Pitta.
Yeah, he led tight ends in snaps. Again, this is a very talented tight end who totally fucked his hip. It was basically like being in a serious car crash, and he's finally back. Looks healthy. Flacco loves him. So I think
like him a lot this week against Cleveland.
Yeah, it's especially great matchup because Cleveland is really bad on defense.
Yep.
I'm not fully ready to see him. I don't see the upside fully yet, but I don't think he's going to be this cheap going forward. So if it does happen this week, it's huge.
Oh, I think he got in.
I missed that. God fucking damn it.
Looked like he got in to me.
Whatever. I'm just very glad that we're more than likely winning this game. Knock on.
Yeah, I think. Right.
But yeah, no,
he got in. He got
talent
in.
standpoint, it's nice to see him back on the field, and he's a good option if he's healthy. He really is.
Okay, next one, last tight end.
This is mine. Steven Anderson, 2,500, plays for the Houston Texans. Currently third on the depth chart, technically, but he did catch 3 passes. He wasn't really expected to be on the field. He is more of like a big slot. He's kind of like what Kinsey and Noon was for us, but
Okay, so let's put him in there as like a wild card. If you really want to take
I just kind of wanted to bring his name up because it's going to come up at some point soon. But those guys were this is a guy that
Dude, Gillisley got in.
Up because the tight ends there are bad. Bill O'Brien does like to utilize the tight end, and eventually somebody's going to separate themselves, and I think he has the best chance to do it. So if you absolutely need a 2,500 tight end with upside, this is your guy. But obviously we have a ton of options that are better if you don't need the money. But if you do, good option. Eventually will work out. And we would have talked about Trey Burton, who you and I picked up in that league. But he's on Monday, and he doesn't count for the slate.
Right. Okay.
All right, defenses, 3K and under. Pats at 3,000. What you got?
Pats, again, are playing
Miami. Hashtag not good.
At home, yeah.
They're home for the rest of Garoppolo, which lucky mother.
I think, yeah, no kidding. I think that's a decent play this week, actually. I talked about Miami offense not being that bad for eventually not being that terrible, but it doesn't mean the eventually is going to happen right now.
If Kenny Stills is dropping guaranteed touchdowns and Parker's not back in the lineup, they don't have enough firepower to make this defense give them anything. They're going to stay close. Nobody's going to be able to go deep.
Are they going to reset the game clock here too?
I don't know. I'm talking to you. I wasn't.
This is critical things.
Patriots are a good play because Miami's offense is still in shambles. I think they will eventually figure it out. Like you said, with Gase. I like Gase. You had Gase last year.
Yeah, they'll eventually figure it out, but it doesn't mean it's
this week. And this would be a nice play. I think it's safe in cash, and it has upside in tournaments as well. We talked about this. Also, you talked about this earlier. The Ravens at 3K. Based on the matchup.
Yeah, I like the Ravens a lot this week. But, okay, again, McCown is interesting.
Right.
What's that?
If it was RG3 at quarterback, this would be a no-brainer cash play.
Right.
Because of McCown, I don't think this is as safe as everybody thinks it is because I think they are the chalk extreme defense of the week because it is Cleveland. Right. But
McCown absolutely lit them up last year.
We've said we like this Cleveland offense a lot more going forward with a better quarterback under center.
You know what? Honestly, I think the Ravens in daily is a stay away this week.
Yeah,
because everybody's going to be using them, and I don't think they're that safe.
I think this is a nice way to make your lineup contrarian because there are going to be a lot of people that use the Ravens. Again, if you pivot to the Pats, the Patriots, they're the same price. We like that a lot more just based on
Yep, I agree.
Tannehill being not good and not having the weapons right now.
Be contrarian, don't play Ravens. Next.
All right, last one. Lions 2,800 going up against the Tennessee Titans offense because it's the Tennessee Titans offense. That's really all I got with this one because the Titans are not good.
I think that's very fair. Lions are at home, aren't they?
The Lions are home. They are inside the dome on the fast track.
Yep.
So
okay, I'm with you on that.
Home defense.
I'm totally with you on that.
Home defense favored under 3K. You can do much worse.
Yep, I'm with you on this one.
And they're
not a terrible defense either.
So that's it for week 2. I guess I should check to see if we have questions because Mark.
Dude, next week, Cooter time.
Yeah, I'm down. All right, hold on.
What did we call it? Cooter, playing with my Cooter.
Playing with my Cooter.
Yeah, that's the segment. Hey, the Lions defense playing with my Cooter, although he's the offensive coordinator.
Pete enters equals off the rails, of course.
That's like my job in this podcast.
All right, if anybody's watching, hurry up and ask questions. Otherwise, we are signing off.
That's literally my job in this podcast is just come in and like mess
Delaney
everything up.
Walker potential, I guess we can talk about. I think they are gonna get him more involved.
And they're going to be playing from behind, which
again,
we think they'll be playing from behind.
I don't think it takes away from what Sharp is able to do. I think that they are somewhat similar, but I think Mariota is absolutely smitten with Tajay. 11 targets in the first NFL game. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not off of that until I see less than 10 targets. I'm not.
Okay, I'm going to go feed the dog and like pretend that I'm alive.
Okay. All right, guys. Good week. Good luck. If you need anything, hit us up on Twitter. I am at Alex Hanowitz. Mark is at MN Milano, and you are at Karagianis.
At P. Karagianis.
Oh, you
P
are
for
P?
Pete.
Sorry.
Yeah,
My bad.
P. Karagianis. That's okay.
All right, boys and girls. Good luck. Good night.
Adios, amigos.